Today we're going to walk you through how to actually use the AVerMedia Extra Go capture card. Now this capture card's for your handheld devices like your tablets, your Nintendo Switches, or your Asus ROGs, or whatever you actually are having. Today we're going to use the Nintendo Switch capture or Nintendo Switch for this. Now to do this, you're going to need a couple simple things. First and foremost, you're going to need, of course, this cable that comes with it is a USB-C to USB-C. This is going to be the cable you're going to set down inside this tray and then connect to the back where you will connect up your handheld device. Second, you're going to need a USB-C port for the actual power, and then a USB-C port to connect from here to your PC so you can actually have the data through there to go into capture. Now, we're going to be using OBS as our source of capturing today for the streaming and, of course, capturing video purposes. And we'll actually show you guys that because we're going to actually have to show you guys how to install a few little pieces to do that, of course, with that. Now, it's very simple and very easy. Of course, like I said, we're going to use this USB-C cable right here to connect up the Nintendo Switch, just like this, of course. And then I'm going to set the Nintendo Switch down in the tray. And then, of course, connect that up right here. I'm going to use this cable as my, of course, data power source. And then I'm going to use my 100-watt pass-through cable, USB-C. Now, it does come with the cables you need. I actually have cables already set up. So this is all we're going to need to actually do this. We're going to make sure this Switch is actually in PC mode for the purpose of videoing. Next, you guys are going to see is actually me switch scenes. We're going to actually have me in camera. We're also going to have, of course, the actual software sitting in the screen. We're going to show you guys how to install it and walk you through everything that you need to use this. So give me a second. Let me switch. What you're going to need is the GC515 plugin manager and, of course, firmware update. Now, to do that, you'll literally just go to, of course, AVerMedia, grab the plugin manager for the 515, GC515. It'll be on the actual page there for you to actually do that. Now, once you have that, of course, we have it set up in the middle of my scene already down there. And we'll actually pull it up and we'll be like this. And it'll say, do you want to allow it to actually install? We'll click OK. Now, when you go through this, you're going to click Next, and it's going to say Accept, and then we're going to click Install and all of this. Now, I already have it installed, so I don't need to do this with this. It's going to walk you through that, and once you're there, you're good to go. Now, this is where it gets good because, yes, you could actually do the firmware updates from the site, or if you have, of course, OBS, which I'm going to bring OBS over here for us with this, and that's actually kind of cool. Now, of course, with that, you'll have it installed, and you'll have OBS, and it'll say, of course, AVerMedia Center. We're going to click that, and we're going to click Manage. Now, once it's here, you're actually not going to have the Switch plugged in yet. You're going to leave the Nintendo Switch unplugged, and then you're going to see the GC515 settings, and it's going to say Install right there, and then you'll press Install, and it'll walk you through that. It'll be the same with the Hyper Decoder, and it'll do that. Now, once you're in there, it's going to allow you to, of course, open it, and then up here, it'll say Firmware Update, and you'll install Firmware Update. That's that simple to do. Now, once you're in here, you'll actually plug the Nintendo Switch back in, and then you'll reboot, of course, OBS. Once you reboot OBS, it will now detect it in there. Now, what you're going to actually do is come over to your source or scene that you're using for this purpose of capturing. Now, we're going to make a whole new source and scene. So what we're going to do is say AVerMedia Capture, because we're back over here with this on hand to desktop capture. Now, once we have those two scenes in, so you'll hit that plus scene and add display capture if you really need to, or you'll hit the plus scene and actually add what's called AVerMedia Hyper Decoder. Once we're in there, it's going to say, of course, and now you guys can actually see that you guys can see the Nintendo with it. Now, I'm going to bring the Sony ZV-10 camera up, down, and above this, so we can actually have me above the source, so you guys can actually see me down here. And, of course, we're going to do this one more time with that on hand. And we're going to try and get, of course, my picture above the actual AVerMedia. Now, I may not do this, of course, for the scene, but that is what it's going to take for that. Now, I'm going to be right back. So with that, guys, we actually have the capture up. And I actually have, of course, my controller in my hand. So if I really want to, I can just start clicking through and going through all this if I really need to. And we can actually start pressing, and, of course, and going into the controllers. Or we can start doing gameplay. Now, that's all there is going to do to this. So it's that simple. Once you have it up, you're now capturing and you're playing your games and you're streaming on purpose. Now, with this though, we can actually go in here and we can actually adjust the video quality. Now, by adjusting the video quality, of course, I'm going to drop off and bring the display capture back up here to kind of show you guys the AVerMedia manager system, and we're going to pull this up. So video quality is going to be down here, of course, so we're going to want either optimal, good, or normal for this actual purpose. Now, you're also going to have, of course, recording settings. You can have synchronized recording to the SD card or, of course, to the screen capture only. You can also make hot buttons, which is that button on the front of this. You can actually do start or stop recordings or start and stop streaming. That's up to you if you guys want to change that out. Now, you can also enable HDCP if you want to enable HDCP. You can also do volume control. But if you have more than one capture card, you can actually swap that out as well. It's really that simplified to actually hook up this capture card to your system and start capturing your gameplay with, of course, the Extra Go GC515 from AVerMedia. If you guys need a capture card for your handheld devices, they got you covered.